KCAL's KCAL News, Los Angeles.
Now at 11:30, parts of Sierra Madre are under evacuation warnings, why the incoming storm could do more damage than you think. Plus, global trade wars are hitting home when customers can expect to pay more at places like Target. And mayors from major American cities are in D.C. today. Why they're facing lawmakers and how L.A. is all connected. Welcome to KCAL News at 11:30. I'm Chris Holmstrom. Rain. It is falling across parts of Southern California. This is what it looked like in Silver Lake earlier this morning. And get this, there's more on the way. Now turning now to your weather, taking a live look outside. What do we got? All right, we got some rain clouds in the distance. Let's go to meteorologist Paul Diano for your next weather forecast. Paul, take it away.
Hey, Chris, we got some haves and have-nots. Right now, the haves would be western LA County, eastern Ventura County, north of the Santa Clarita Valley. Rain hasn't moved much over the past couple hours, so the rainfall totals are beginning to add up in Malibu, in the 101 corridor through Agora Hills and Calabasas, and then north through Simi Valley over the Santa Susanas, and then up toward the Santa Clarita Valley. The have-nots, everywhere east of Los Angeles, you've had a few light showers and that's it. No rain yet for Pomona or Chino Hills or Rancho Cucamonga, and it may be a couple hours before that boundary works its way from the west to the east. So the rainfall totals are all west of Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles, about 0.05 of an inch of rain. We're up to 1/10 of an inch of rain in Ventura, but now almost 1/4 of an inch of rain. Our wettest spot so far is Agora Hills and Porter Ranch, not that far behind, with about 1/5 of 1 inch of rain. Not flooding rainfall, but that'll slow you down on the roads. You'll be using the windshield wipers, may even switch to that faster mode. Here's the Hollywood Hills once again, cloudy. Rain arriving today. Next weather headlines, it's all about the rain. It'll be a soggy afternoon. It has the potential to be even wetter tomorrow, especially south and east of Los Angeles. The place is not getting the rain now. You'll get most of your rain later tomorrow. And wintry in the mountains where a winter storm warning is in effect for the San Bernardinos. Next 12 hours in Santa Clarita, pretty much what you have outside right now is what you're going to get through about midnight. Light to moderate rain, temperatures only in the low 50s. Really brisk day. These are your highs. Claremont only 55. 61 for Van Nuys, 60 downtown Los Angeles, 60 for Santa Ana, and 55 in Camarillo. So we stay chilly and we stay rainy throughout the day today. We'll talk about how much rain in total and when the rain moves out, what the weekend looks like. That's coming up.
Okay, Paul, thank you. And the rain is falling, so that means people living in and around the wildfire burn scars, they have to prepare for the worst. An evacuation warning is currently in effect for those living near the Eaton fire scar. KCAL News reporter Carl Fincham is in Sierra Madre as crews gear up for possible debris flows and mudslides.
Lots of heavy equipment has been moving through the streets here, unloading some of that debris from the basin above. And neighbors, they have been taking precautions as well. They have K-rails and sandbags in place. Here's what we heard about the storm during an LA County update earlier today.
There's also a 10 to 20% chance of thunderstorms that could produce heavy downpours. With this level of rainfall, there's a potential for isolated mud flows, and some streets could be blocked, by mud and debris.
Early this morning, Genesis posted evacuation warnings for numerous Sierra Madre areas beneath the Eaton fire burn scar. Part of the reason emergency leaders fear this event could trigger mud flows is because Sierra Madre still hasn't recovered from February's rainstorms. Take a look. This is time-lapse video of one of the debris basins that filled up and overflowed February 13th, causing mud to swamp certain areas. Public Works crews have been working to clear all of the impacted basins. If we go to time-lapse video of that same basin, though, from this morning, you can see debris remains in it. Crews got some last-minute removal work in there this morning. Local leaders urging people who live in at-risk areas to keep checking their Genesis apps throughout the upcoming rains. They say the evacuation warnings in place now could be upgraded to orders. They also say folks really cooperated during the last storm, and that helped them get in there quickly and clean up. Now back out here, you can see some of the trucks still behind us here, getting all of that last-minute work in and really keeping their fingers crossed, hoping for the best. Cara Finstrom, KCAL News.
Now we have some breaking news for you. LA County is suing SoCal Edison to recover costs and damages due to the widespread devastation of the Eaton fire. Officials claim Edison's equipment sparked the fire, which burned over 14,000 acres, destroyed thousands of structures, and caused 17 deaths. The county says its case is essential to the ongoing restoration and rebuilding process. Pasadena and Sierra Madre are also suing Edison for damages to public resources. President Trump gave a defiant address to a joint session of Congress Tuesday night. The room was divided last night as Republicans cheered, Democrats jeered, and one lawmaker was thrown out. Longtime Texas Congressman Al Green was removed after standing up and shouting at the president. Following the interruption, President Trump dove into his agenda, discussing tariffs, illegal immigration, and reducing the federal government.
I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Is there anyone in America who is comfortable with him and his gang of 20-year-olds using their own computer servers to poke through your tax returns, your health information, and your bank accounts?
It was the longest speech ever before a joint session of Congress, over 90 minutes. Well, you could pay more the next time you go to the store. That's because of President Trump's new tariffs. KCAL's Rick Montanez spoke to shoppers in Silver Lake that are worried about prices going up fast.
Shoppers here at this Target this morning tell me, of course, they do not want to see higher prices, but the corporation's CEO says by the end of the week, we could see those prices increase. In a recent interview, he says they're trying to manage prices, but changes are on the way. Check out here what Target has first on its to increase. We're talking about fruits and vegetables. The CEO, Brian Cornell, told CNBC the company relies heavily on produce imports from Mexico in the winter months. Best Buy is another major retailer saying price increases are, quote, highly likely. One shopper we met this morning here in Silver Lake says with limited grocery options near his home, the increase from tariffs is concerning.
Target already isn't cheap to begin with. It's the closest grocery store to our home, just over there. If you make even one bad decision at the beginning of the month, you're going to be paying for it. That's how tight our budget has been. You know, for instance, I took my girlfriend to a sushi restaurant. Ever since, I've been like, oh man, like I got to watch what I'm spending here, spending there.
Yeah, so if something at the store goes up, that'll be hard for you.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's a pretty shared experience at this point.
Economists predict fresh fruit and vegetables could be the first to see price increases across the board. This includes fresh berries, avocados, and tomatoes, the top 3 agricultural exports from Mexico to the U.S. On a local level, the co-owner of Red Maple in Toluca says they've already seen prices go up for items like coffee, and the restaurant has tried to absorb the price increase from eggs recently, but they won't be able to keep up without passing on some of that rising cost to their customers.
We're doing everything in our power to try to keep the cost low, but at the same time, we have 26 employees that we have to make sure still have jobs, and we still have to pay the rent, we still have to pay LADWP, we still have to pay our city taxes.
At last night's address to Congress, President Trump doubled down again. He says, whatever they tariff us, we will tariff them. So more changes could be on the horizon, and whether you look at it as big business or small business, the changes are apparently happening and can be happening relatively soon. Reporting in Silver Lake, Rick Montanez, KCAL News.
And Democratic mayors in 4 of the U.S.'s largest cities were grilled on Capitol Hill today over their status as sanctuary cities. The mayors of Boston, New York, Chicago, and Denver testified before the House Oversight and Government Affairs Committee. Lawmakers asked about the city's apparent lack of cooperation with ICE agents in rounding up illegal immigrants. The mayors hit back against accusations that they were harboring criminals.
To be clear, a sanctuary city classification does not mean our city will ever be a safe haven for violent criminals. It also does not give New York City the authority to violate federal immigration laws.
Republicans in the committee argued that the federal law supersedes state and local laws and encouraged the mayors to cooperate with ICE agents. LA, maybe the largest sanctuary city in the country, was not represented at the hearing by Mayor Karen Bass. A 5th day of jury deliberations are underway in the case of the Orange County judge accused of killing his wife. Judge Jeffrey Ferguson is accused of shooting his wife to death in their Anaheim Hills home in 2023. Prosecutors say the killing was intentional. The defense says it was an accident. The jury got the case last Wednesday. Monday, they said they were deadlocked. Yesterday, the trial judge ordered them to keep deliberating, but again, no verdict has been reached. Today is Ash Wednesday, but the Pope did not lead today's service in Vatican City. The 88-year-old has been in the hospital for nearly 3 weeks with pneumonia in both lungs. Doctors say he is off a ventilator and being treated with oxygen therapy after respiratory failure Monday. The Vatican says he had another restful night and remains in stable condition. Well, they're on an extended trip up in space, but the commander of the Starliner is pushing back. What he says is not true when it comes to why they're still there. Plus, they're in the business of cleaning up. Our Christine Lazar explains the duties of an industrial hygienist and how they're helping wildfire survivors. Yeah, a lot of people are asking the question, is my house safe to return to? That's the question facing homeowners whose properties are still standing after the wildfires, but they're surrounded by destruction. On your side's Christine Lazar spent the day with the man whose job is to provide these homeowners with accurate answers.
Before the fires, I had never heard the title industrial hygienist. Typically, they identify workplace hazards that could pose a risk to a worker's health. But in light of thousands of homes still standing in the fire areas, industrial hygienists are now in high demand by homeowners.
You can see that there's a lot of dirt and debris on the floor here.
Ash and soot still remain in Kirsten Davis's Altadena home nearly 2 months after the Eden fire destroyed several properties on her street. Dave Gold is an industrial hygienist who came here to survey just how toxic Davis's home really is. So Dave, looking at Kirsten's house, how do you rate it?
Well, we're rating our jobs in terms of how bad they look on a scale of 0 to 5. And I'd say that this one's about a 3 or 4.
The work industrial hygienists do is fairly straightforward, but it's a crucial step in the path to peace of mind for those hoping to move back into their homes within the fire zone.
I'm trying to ride that line between I don't want to be paranoid, but I want to be cautious.
While in Davis's home, Gold took surface samples to be tested later at a lab.
And so this sample here with the alcohol pad would be getting analyzed for ash, dust, and soot. And this one here would be for metals or asbestos.
He calls it preserving evidence in case insurers refuse to pay for remediation. So what is he finding?
Definitely ash, soot, and char, and that in of itself contains a bunch of toxic materials, including polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. We're certainly finding a fairly frequent amount of lead showing up, also a little bit of arsenic in the samples.
The cost to clean up these toxins isn't cheap, considering these homes survived the fires and don't have structural damage.
I've gotten 4 estimates, and they've ranged from $65,000 to $85,000. And that does not include cleaning all the things that are going to be replaced. That includes merely replacing the insulation and cleaning everything in our 2,000 square feet total.
If there is lead, if there is asbestos, if there are these toxins and contaminants that you're talking about, you can't just come and vacuum it up.
No, we don't recommend unless it's a very small problem that people do it themselves.
Why?
Because they could be exposing themselves to toxic materials of one sort or another, or spreading them around the house more in the process of cleaning it up.
Gold's company charges about $1,500 for testing, but he says he's heard of other industrial hygienists inflating costs. How do you keep yourself from getting price gouged?
I think if you're finding that the sampling like this is costing well over $2,000, I would be suspicious. And again, you can get multiple quotes from people. We've heard people getting proposals of $25,000 for testing to do all kinds of extensive tests that at the end of the day right now aren't really necessary.
Davis's insurer has agreed to remediation to a level she feels comfortable with, but they will not pay to test again after the cleaning is complete.
It looks like it'll be about at least 3 months before we're able to come back, and I don't know how comfortable or not we'll feel.
Consumer advocates say that some homeowners are having their claims for smoke remediation either denied or not fully covered. And this is not a new complaint. A class action lawsuit filed last year in Northern California by 365,000 Fair Plan policyholders accused the insurer of last resort of illegally writing policies with subpar coverage for damages related to smoke and fire. Christine Lazar, KCAL News.
Wow, it's so weird to see the Christmas trees. Everything just stood still in time. Well, we want you to know KCAL News is committed to following the rebuilding efforts. So if you have a news tip that you want us to investigate, scan the QR code on your screen or send us a message on kcalnews.com/tips. Putting the Empire in Inland Empire, the new sports complex coming to Ontario next year. Plus, meteorologist Paul Diano is monitoring rain in SoCal. How much snow is heading to our mountains? He'll have some answers for us. Well, the commander of the Starliner mission in space says politics played no role in the decision to extend the mission. That's in contrast to President Trump's assertion that his predecessor abandoned the astronauts. The crew landed on the International Space Station last June for an 8-day mission, but problems with Starliner's propulsion system prolonged it. They're expected to come back by the end of the month. The city of Ontario is building a 200-acre complex called the Ontario Sports Empire. The centerpiece is a minor league baseball stadium that will host the Dodgers' new Single-A affiliate starting in 2026. Our Chris Harry stopped by to see how it's coming along.
San Bernardino County is the largest geographical county in the United States. We have so much to offer for our residents, so much expansion. We have the deserts, we have the snow in the mountains, we have lakes all over, we have lots of natural resources. As the population continues to grow, we're going to have some great first-class entertainment facilities as well.
Now, of all the new sports and entertainment options here in San Bernardino, this is perhaps the crown jewel, the Ontario Sports Empire, the new home of the Dodgers Single-A affiliate.
Ontario is at the center of minor league musical chairs in San Bernardino County. In 2026, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes become the Angels Single-A affiliate after 15 seasons with the Dodgers. In turn, the Inland Empire 66ers are now affiliated with the Seattle Mariners, while the Dodgers land in Ontario. The city recently broke ground on the Ontario Sports Empire, a $100 million project that includes the new team's home stadium.
This is really exciting. Why don't you tell us where we are right now?
So we're standing in center field in the new Ontario ballpark. This is a 6,500 seat minor league baseball stadium. It's professional level. It will be the best minor league stadium in the country.
The Ontario Sports Empire is 200 acres, which includes this minor league baseball field, but at the same time, soccer games, little league, travel teams for soccer, softball, all different sports.
There's also quite a demand for youth sports competitions, and we are now poised to absorb a lot of that, the youth sports tourism and everything that comes along with it.
Jennifer says the project is expected to bring in an estimated 1.2 million new visitors, create over 600 new jobs, and generate $61 million in revenue.
And then, of course, you have the Dodger fan base. I'm sure that so many Dodger fans are going to want to see this new stadium and everything that comes with that, right? You're going to need some hot dogs, you're going to need some beer, you're going to need who knows, maybe they're going to have boba. You're going to need all of those when you're enjoying that, and all of that is directly supporting the economic benefits here.
Dan, let's just get personal for a second, because you told me you're a diehard Dodger fan. The fact that a part of the Dodgers is here now, how does that hit you?
When we did the groundbreaking during the World Series Game 3, and Ron Cey was here, the co-MVP of the '81 series, and then to end up beating the Yankees again, it was just surreal to know that they're coming and that history is coming here. As you know, I watched them growing up as a kid.
Is it hard to believe that in 1 year, this thing is going to be done?
It's easy to believe. I think I come out here at least once a week just to see the progress. You can see the steel going up now. So I completely believe it. And I will be sitting in the stands, eating a hot dog, rooting for the Dodgers when it opens.
Hot dogs and beer. Let's go. All right, turning now to your weather, taking a live look outside Santa Monica. Oh, much different than it was this time yesterday. Let's go back to meteorologist Paul Diano for your next weather forecast. Paul.
Hey, Chris, the rain is here in Santa Monica, one of the wetter spots right now. The rain is almost all L.A. to Santa Monica and points west. Very little rainfall over Orange County, even eastern L.A. County, but this thin band of some steady soaking rainfall. Pacific Palisades, the burn scar. Santa Monica, Marina del Rey, up the 10 and the 2 to downtown Los Angeles, all the way north up to the Santa Clarita Valley. So the view in Malibu, you're not seeing much. It is going to be both hands on the steering wheel today. It is going to be soggy out there. Now we're seeing a little bit of sunshine actually in the Inland Empire. We're at 63 in Temecula, almost 60 in San Bernardino. Contrast that with the rain in Simi Valley and Camarillo and Malibu and Los Angeles, where temperatures are up to 9 degrees cooler. Highs today. Yeah, maybe the low 60s, maybe if we're lucky. That is about 9 degrees cooler than average. Rain more on than off today. It'll be light rain. There shouldn't be any widespread flooding concerns with the rainfall rates that we're seeing, but it's going to be soggy. We will be soggy once again tomorrow, especially in the afternoon and the evening. Then we dry out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, mainly sunny. Back to you, Chris.
Okay, Paul, thank you. And thank you for watching KCAL News at 11:30. KCAL News at noon with Amy Johnson is next.